Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we are finally going to add this Sound Transit S700 train to Minecraft, and today I'll show you exactly how I do it. So first I'm going to open up my world and head over to where the sidings are. And now I'm gonna open the dashboard and click this button for the resource pack creator. That will open up in a new window like this. And let me maximize it. And then I'm going to click create a new resource pack. Now I'm going to add my model and texture files, which we've previously created. If you haven't seen those episodes, it's on the same playlist on my YouTube channel, so go ahead and take a look if you want to. They're really long videos, so I don't blame you if you don't watch the whole thing. You can skip around. And so now I'm going to click on the Manage Models and Manage Textures button. So once I created a new resource pack, what I need to do now is to tell the resource pack creator which models and textures I am going to be providing. So if I click on Manage Models, all I see are the built-in Minecraft models, and there are 0 custom models. So I'm going to click on Add Model and navigate to the directory where I have my model, which is going to be in my GitHub repository. Oh wait, I think I clicked on the wrong thing. It's Fabric Source Main Resources, Assets, MTR Models, Vehicle, and S700. So there it is. It's been uploaded and now it's under this custom category. I'm also going to do the same things with the texture, because right now you see that all the textures here are only the ones built in to the mod, and there are 0 custom textures. So similarly, we're going to add it through this button here, Vehicle, and S700. There we go. So now we have it in here under the custom section. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is to add a vehicle. Okay, so since we are making this a Sound Transit S700 train, let's click on Edit Vehicle Properties, and here we can edit the ID of the train, the name, and all the other properties. So I'm gonna go ahead and change those fields. S700. So usually I like to do the model first and then any other variations that come after it. So for example, class 802 and then underscore GWR or TPE versus like GWR underscore class 802. So in the same way, I'm going to do the model first and then the variation. So 700 Sound Transit Cab 1. So I'm planning to make 3 different sections: the front, the middle, and the back. Should I put the word Siemens in here? I'll just leave it as S700. Sound Transit Siemens S700. Cab forwards. And then transport mode can be train. Description, I usually leave that blank for the custom trains. Or I mean for the built-in trains to the mod. And then for the Wikipedia article field, if I open up a Wikipedia article of the train, then you can see the URL is en.wikipedia.org/wiki, and then I'm going to copy this last part here. And then I'm going to go into Wikipedia article, paste that in. And this button allows you to test the Wikipedia link. So as you can see, it loads in properly. And so that's what it's going to be. The dimensions, I don't know about the length and the width yet, so I'm going to leave that blank. The width is gonna be 2, but the length I don't know yet. So actually, before we move on, let me try figuring out what the color should be. Okay, so I've opened up that file I had earlier of the exterior textures, and I'm gonna go into this reference again, and I think I want to make the train this, like at least the dashboard icon in this color, so 0091B3. I'm gonna go into here, 0091B3. Perfect. Okay, and then the bogey positions, I am going to just leave that right now because I also don't know where the positions will be. And then there's actually going to be a back gangway because this is the front car of the train. So there's no front gangway because that's the front. And so there will be a back gangway. And for the sounds, I have not made any sounds yet, so I'm going to leave that as default and then click Save. So as you can see, the title updated, the ID updated, also the color updated. So that's all good. Now, I'm going to go into the bogey sections and actually add the front bogey first. So I'm going to be using the default bogey. So I'm going to click on Edit Model Properties. The model resource, I'm just going to look for the default one because that's what I do for all my trains. I know it's not super accurate, but it's easiest for me to add that in. So everything else I can leave default. So the bogies aren't going to have gangway textures, which is okay. The gangway shouldn't be connected to each other anyway. So all we have to do is to set the model resource and the texture resource. Everything else can be default, so I'm going to click Save. Because I'm using a default model from the mod, the Edit Model Parts button is now grayed out, so I can't edit any of that because it's already given for us, basically. There's not going to be a back bogey because if we take a look at some of the images that we have, let me try to see if there's a good picture. As you can see, there's the bogey right here, and then the bogey in the middle section, and then the bogey at the back. So right here is actually floating, sort of like the new Piccadilly line trains, except that there's one bogey in front supporting it. So these 3 points, 1, 2, 3, are the only points connected to the rail, which is pretty interesting. And I guess it's the first of its kind in the mod. Anyway, so that's exciting. So we only need the front bogey, and the back bogey doesn't need a model. Alright, so now for the main vehicle, that's going to be the hard part and also the fun part. So I'm going to click on Add Model, Edit Model Properties, and select our model that we just uploaded earlier, and the texture as well. So for the gangways, I think I'm just going to stick with something simple like the SP1900. Inner side would be side, and then inner top will be SP1900 roof. And then this one will be SP1900 floor. And then exterior, exterior, exterior. And then these settings will probably need to adjust later as well. But for now, I'm going to click Save. We can always go back and edit them. So now you can see, because we've selected our block bench and our image, they appear right here. And then now I'm going to click on Edit Model Parts, and this is going to be the challenging part. So what I need to do is to look back at my block bench model. It would be really helpful if I had a split screen, but Yeah, I'm recording, so I don't have that. So it's okay. I am going to select the parts from top to bottom and see which ones apply to us. So I'm going to first add window 1. And condition normal, type normal is okay. Positions, let me just do 0 for now. Render stage, we want interior. And then there's not going to be any door movement, so that can stay at 0. Alright, so there it is. I'm going to go back in Minecraft and actually take a look at how that looks in game. So in my dashboard, I'm going to go into my siding, which is this one right here. Click on that and click edit. Now I should be able to see my new train here because we've just added it through the resource pack creator. So I'm going to select that and press done. As you can see, the train is now here because we've added the window 1 piece. Oh, I didn't want it to move. Let me cancel the schedule real quick. Clear vehicles. Yeah, I don't want the trains to move right now because I want to test it. Okay, so this is our window 1 piece. It's looking good, but I don't think it's in the right position. So let's go ahead back to our picture. And I think I've created a picture in the past. Let me try to find it. Not this one. Not this one either. There was a picture that I was kind of measuring out all the different dimensions of the train. I thought I had it. For some reason I didn't. The picture with all the measurements. Okay, I found it. It's this one right here. So I'm gonna assume that all these numbers are still correct. And now I want to figure out approximately where the middle is going to be. So let's add up all the numbers right now. At least the ones that make sense. So 30 plus 64 plus 68 plus 23 divided by 2 is 92.5. So right about here is 6 plus 3 is 94. So if I make this the midpoint, that could make sense. Let me think about this a little more. Yeah, because 96... Because I'm gonna be assuming that people would want to couple this front car to a different type of train altogether, just to make weird combinations. So if I make this part 96, that's a multiple of 16, right? Yeah. Just had to check. So if that's a multiple of 16, let's see what we have here. 52. We should probably be basing it off the middle as well. So 16 times 5 is what? 80. 16 times 4 is 64. So if the middle is 64, 52 plus 12 is 64. So yeah, 6 and 4. Okay, let me draw out what I'm thinking. So the car is going to be divided like this. This is just an approximation. So this will be 64 meaning that this will be 6. Let me check if this piece is still 18. Yeah, it's still 18. Sometimes when we're editing the model, stuff tends to change. So the other part of this would be 4. I know this is not to scale, but you get the idea. Yeah, 6 and 4, and then 18. So if I add these up, 64 plus 30 plus 4 equals 98, which is a little over 96. So if we want to keep that aligned, then that means the center point will need to be about right here. So 34. So which means this will be offset by 2 units. Okay. Okay, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Which means that the front piece is 56 and the door is 12. And then here is 2. So 56 divided by 2, 56 divided by 2 is 28 plus 12 plus 2 will be 42. Which means this will have to be 42. Okay. I can't tell where the front of the train is. So I'm going to add something random. So that I can see. Okay, so we might be going the wrong way. So instead, we'll need this piece to be flipped over to the other side. So I'm gonna edit this and put this under flipped positions instead and make that negative 42. So that looks a little bit more like it. Okay, let me put in the door as well. I know we said we're gonna go in order, but yeah. I just want to be able to visualize where the positions are first. So I'm going to... Actually, you know what? Let's do the exteriors first. That might make things easier. So window exterior 1, and then next we'll have the door exterior, which is going to be positive 2 if you remember. Or negative 2. So I think we need to flip that. And then this will actually need to be exterior because we're working on the exterior first. So yeah, looks pretty good to me. One thing we can do just to check if we have the right positions is edit this just very slightly, like 2.1. Oh wait, 1.9. And you see that there's a tiny little crack here. That means we have the position correct at negative 2. Oh, not 12, but negative 2. Okay, so that's the door. That looks good to me. So the door is going to be 2 off the center. Okay, now the next part is the window. The window is 64 minus the doors, which is 24, which is 40. So it'll be negative 20. But plus 2, so negative 18. Or positive 18. Okay, so I'm going to add the window exterior 2 at 18. Let's see. Oh, I did my math wrong. Let's try this again. So this is 40. The width of this is 40. So this, which means half of this is 20. Offset by 20. And then offset by 10. So 30. So this should be 30. There we go. And the speaker is supposed to be facing back. Yes, that's correct. Alright. Now let's add the next part as well, which is another door. So, taking a look back at this picture, we have an offset of 64 plus 2, or minus 2 would be 62. So I'm gonna add another piece here. So to add another one, you just press enter, add a new line, 0, 0, 62. And then put that in the flipped and not flipped. There we go. There's the door. And then the next part is going to be window exterior 3. Window exterior 3 would be, so we had 62 over here. 62 plus 12 is 74. 74 plus 9, because 18 divided by 2, is 83. Okay, 83. So just to double check, I'm going to do 83.1. And you see there's this tiny crack here, which means 83 is correct. Alright. There we go. That's the exterior of the train right there. Since we settled on 96 as the center point, 96 divided, or 96 times, no, divided by 16 is 6, so the whole train length should be 12. Yeah, so now we can go into vehicle properties and make this 12, save. I'm actually not sure if we're off by 1, so let's go into the siding and click edit, and now that would reset the train position. So I think 12 might be too small. Maybe we forgot to account for the bogey connection or something, but I don't know. 12 might be a little small for this. I just don't know why this is overlapping like this. Does it have to do with the SP1900? Yeah, I don't know why the cars are joining like this. Anyway, let's just leave this. Double check my math here. So 62 plus 30, 92. Let's just try 13 for the train length. And then edit my siding again. Okay, I think that looks a little more like it, even though they're really close together. Let's just leave the length at 13 first, and then we can always revise it as necessary. Alright, so now let's keep editing the model parts. So we've only added these parts so far. Oh, we can also try to modify the bogie positions first. So since the bogie is like way off right now, I'm guessing about like 4 blocks off. So the front bogie position, let's try to do 5 first. Save. And we also have to reset. If we adjust the train lengths and width and the bogie positions, we always have to go back to the siding and edit. And then it would refresh back. So we're still a little bit off. So let's try 3. That looks better. Okay. Okay. So for the back bogie position, what I'm thinking is that since our train technically only has 1 bogie, I don't actually want the front car to pivot only off of here. So I do want like a virtual bogie here as well, but I'm just not rendering it. So when the train turns curves and stuff, it won't look so weird. So what we have here is 64. So the bogie right here is about 32 off of the connection point. So if I want to make this a little more symmetrical, then I would want another 32 from this connection point to where the bogie is supposed to be. So since this is 30 and this is 4, this is 34. So 32 would be 2 offset here, which is perfect because we have 2 offset for the center as well. So from this point to where the bogie is would be exactly 64. Okay, so 64 is 4 blocks. So in the vehicle properties, I can do 4 for the back bogie. I know that was quite complicated, but hopefully that would make a little bit more sense later. I don't know. Okay. Oh. Seems like the train moved up 1 block. So maybe actually 12 was the right answer for the length. I don't know. 12 makes the most sense in terms of the math, but I don't know why it rendered wrong earlier. Maybe it was because of the bogie positions too. But this looks much better. The floor and the connection looks much better now. Alright, I'm happy with this. Okay, now it's time to put in the interior parts. So let's go into here, edit model parts, And let's refer to our block bench model as well. So let's start from the top, window 1. This will have the same position as our window exterior, except that it's just the interior, which I forgot what it was. 42, negative 42. Okay. That looks good. Okay, next would be the door interior. And so that's 2 and 62. Interior. There we go. It's coming together already. But there's this gap right here. Okay. As we piece together the model, I am almost going to guarantee that we're going to run into some issues, which is normal. It's part of the process. We'll just have to revise as we go. That's how it usually is. We're not going to get it perfectly the first time. Window 2 is, I should probably be looking at the positions before I click create. 0, 0, 30, and interior. One thing we can do also is time set night. So we can really see which parts we have interior and which parts we have exterior. Okay. Something's wrong here. Okay, this needs to be flipped. Window 2 needs to be flipped as well, so there we go. On both sides. Okay. And window 3 is 83. There we go. We have the bike racks and everything. And let's take a look here. We have the end piece, which is important. I think it's 83 as well. Let's check. It's not exactly 83. And we need to slowly adjust it so that it goes right up to the edge. Four, 5, 6, 9, 92, 91, 90, 91. That's kind of the nice thing about the resource pack creator, is that you can adjust numbers and it'll update in real time. Okay, now I've noticed that we need an end piece for the exterior to cover up this stuff. So we need to make that in block bench, but before we do that, we can also adjust the gangway position, because the gangway is supposed to go all the way up to here and shrink down to here, because right now it's cutting out like this. So what we can do is go back here, edit vehicle properties, and then, oh wait, not here, edit model properties. And then the width of the gangway, we can adjust that. Probably let's try 2.5 first. Oh, that's too big. 2 point, or try 2. Oh, 2 seems basically perfect. But let's shrink it down the other way. So that's going to be the Z offset. So let's try changing it to 0. Or just 1. Oh, we want to go the other way. So try 0. Where'd the 0 land us? That's too short now. So 0.25. And that is perfect. 0.25 is perfect. Because you see that ends exactly where the main train car starts. Yeah. And then the width looks good as well. It comes right up to this corner. And the height of the connection also looks good. I could shrink that down a little bit, but I can keep it consistent with the other train types as well. That's fine. Alright. In fact, the SP1900 probably should have its gangway adjusted accordingly as well. But that was made way before 4.0 came out, so that's why it's like this. But for this train, this is like the perfect position for the gangway, so I'm gonna leave that as is. Okay, so I mentioned some fixes that we have to do, namely this gap along the edge, the door edge, and also the back connection. But let's keep going and put in the rest of the pieces first. So we have the door left and right exterior as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's start with the door exterior so that we can actually see it. So we have 1 and 2, we have to remember. Door left exterior 1 would have 2 and 62. Okay, let's check. It looks like it's the wrong wave actually. Yeah. So it might be the wrong door. So put it down here. Yeah, now the wave matches better. Now door left exterior 2. Oh wait, door right exterior 1 first. Would have the same flipped positions. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. Door left exterior 2. And then door right exterior 2. Would have this. Okay, let's check the other side. Oh wait, I think it's actually not flipped. Like that. So let's check the waves again, make sure the waves connect. And it looks like they do, so that's good. Okay, since these are door parts, we need to make them actually move like doors. So let's check the door exterior 1 first. Oh, I just noticed these seats don't have a back, so it looks weird like this. So we need to fix that as well. But let's take a look at the doors. So door movement, door X multiplier. Because these are plug doors, we want to make that greater than 0. Or at least not 0. And then the X multiplier, I'm going to do 11 for now. And then door animation would be plug fast. Why not? Okay, so you can see that this table added some columns to show that as well. Okay, now we can go into the preview tab and click open doors, see what happens. And you notice that the doors are opening backwards. So we need to go back to our design and edit model parts. And since it's moving the wrong way for the plug movement, we'll change that to -1 instead of +1. So go back to preview, open doors. Nice. And is that opening too much? I think that's opening a little too much. So instead of 11, I'm going to change this to 10. Or is it actually 10.5? Because I remember making that like a decimal offset. So let's try 10.5. I think that looks better. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna apply that for the rest of the doors as well. -1 and -10.5. Plug fast. And then same thing for this. Let me walk over there so that I can see it. -1, 10.5. I'm just guessing the numbers right now. And that's the wrong way, so negative. -1, -10.5. Or positive. And plug fast. Oh! Both of those were wrong. Alright. Okay, let's try opening and closing the doors. Boom. Nice. Alright, now for the interior as well. The interior doors should basically be the same. Door left. And we actually need flipped as well. Okay. Where is the door? The door's right there. Let's check the movement first. Boom. Okay, so we have it on both sides. Just check it one more time. Oh, forgot to do plug doors. So we don't want standard, we want plug fast. Nice. Yep, that's the correct directions. So let's also add the door right as well. Let's see how this looks. Oh, forgot the animation again. Because standard doesn't have the plug motion. Alright. That's looking really good. For some reason the left door looks darker than the right door. Did I not copy over the color adjustments I made? That's so weird. Oh wait, no, I think I know why. Because I made this exterior. There we go. Now the colors are the same. Alright, let's take a look from the outside again one more time, just because it's fun. Whee! Boom. Okay. There we go. Alright, let's see what other parts we have. We put the end, door exterior, left, right, seats, seat handrails, headlight, taillight. Okay. We're almost to the finish line. Actually, not really, because there's still a lot of things to fix. So right now, let's add the lights. Okay, so the lights will be let's see, the lights have a length of 32. So we're gonna have to tile the lights all the way from back to front, basically. So since one half of the train is 96, we might as well start at 96, but offset it. So 96 plus 16 is, 96 minus 16 is 80. So we want light. Yeah, so we're gonna start from here. Make sure that these lights aren't running out of the train, because that would be weird. And they are running out of the train right now, so that needs to be adjusted. $76. Let's do 72. And I think 72 goes right up to there, so let's do 74. Because 74 is also not enough to be seen from the outside. Okay, 74. 74 minus 32, and then we'll keep minusing 42, 10, 22. So I like to do it in numerical order. So 10, 42. Okay, we're not at the end yet, so let's keep going. I'm just gonna do one side first, just to see. Oh, does that end perfectly? Wow, did not expect that. That's really nice. And also this, the driver wall cuts out. That's an easy fix though. Alright, the light pieces are in, looking good. And we've got a little bit of texture fighting here, which isn't too hard to fix. We just need to move this pillar just like a fraction more. Or just not have that texture right there. That works too. Alright. Now time for the seats, I guess. Okay, so for the seats, I guess we can start from the back. Which is, let's try 64 first. Negative 64. Okay, so that definitely needs to be flipped around. And interior. The seats look pretty small in comparison. And also, since this part is elevated, how many blocks is this? This is 6 units off the ground, so the seats should be 6 off the ground here as well. Oh, -6. Because up is negative in modeling coordinates. It's quite weird. Okay, and I'm just looking at some online images, and it looks like there are 4 rows of seats. So let's add that in. So maybe let's try 6 units? I don't know. 6 units per seat. Oh, that's way too little. 10. Still seems kind of tight. This is 16 units. Okay, 16 units is too much. So 14. 14. I don't know. 12. Maybe 12. So that's 4 rows of seats. Now let's move them over to the right side. So I guess -13 is like right up to the edge. Okay. This looks a little bit squished. What happens if we do 66? I guess that could work. So 13 per seat. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, now I'm gonna copy each of these and make them +13. There, seats are on the other side now. And then we also have a couple of seats down here. Okay, they're not going to be 6 off the ground. Okay, what about right here? Yep, I think that looks good. Let's just keep that for now. And then the other side would be here. I forgot that we can't do 90-degree rotation for the resource pack creator. So I'm gonna need to add the other seats again. Like for the horizontal seating right here, I'm gonna need to add that in again later. I also think that this space right here is too small to fit 2 seats. I think my measurements were off when I was making the model. Okay, anyway, let's put these seats in properly first. Wait. Just trying to figure out if this is 30. 30 plus 12 is 42. Yeah. Okay. There we go. These seats are in the right spots now. Okay, now we need the seat handrails. And the seat handrails should basically have these same positions except for the last row at the back. So let's add that. And without the last row. Oh, we want it to be interior. Where's all right. There we go. Ooh, we also have a gap right here. Okay. Everything's looking really good right now. I'm really excited. It's just a bunch of holes that we need to fill in. And then the seats as well need to fix. And yeah. Okay, before we fix the other stuff, I do want to... Oh wait, let's add the headlights and taillights before I forget. So... headlights... on route moving forwards, type is normal. Oh, we still need to add the floors and doorways. I need to show you how I do that. Okay, so 42 is the head. Render stage is always on lights. And the condition, let me do add depot for now so that we can see how that looks. Where did it go? I always have this problem. When working with the headlights, it's like, oh, where did it go? Is this not the right position? Where are my headlights? Are they inside here? That's really weird. Oh, for some reason, always on lights didn't work. Okay. Well, we do want it to be always on lights eventually, so I'm gonna change that to moving forwards and light always on. So we won't be seeing it right now. It might be a bug, I don't know. And then we also want the tail lights as well. When the train is moving backwards, then we want the tail lights to show up. so let's just test it. Yep, there it is. Okay, on route forwards, backwards, always on light. Okay, we need to add one more tail lights condition at depot. Yep, there it is. Always on lights. So the tail lights would be rendered either at the depot or when the train's moving backwards. And this piece doesn't have a texture. We probably forgot to copy it the other way. Okay, there we go. Now we can move on to the next part. So actually I want to rename this without the word cab, just forwards. Or maybe, yeah, forwards is okay. Or no, front. I want it to be called like front, middle, and back. So I'm gonna copy this, duplicate, and then, yeah, I might as well change the ID. So this is gonna be front. This is going to be middle. Wait. Should I do 1, 2, 3? Maybe that would make more sense in terms of the ID, because I can't change this later after I release it, or else people's trains will just disappear in the world. So 1, 2, and 3 might be the best option. So in this case, I don't know the length yet, but the bogie positions will both be 0, and then has front and back gangways, because this is the middle part. So the bogie model will be the same, and then the main vehicle, that's where the parts will be different. So I can basically delete all of these, because, yeah, I might as well just start over, because the parts would be quite different from the other car. So let me go ahead and find, oh, this is sometimes the issue with the resource pack creator. When you change the ID, it doesn't actually wipe it from the list. So yeah, this is now the middle. Okay, so as you can see, we have one bogie in the front, and then the back car, you can kind of see it with the floor outline. The game automatically generates a floor for you if you don't have one defined. Okay, so the middle car, let's get on with that. We also already have the dimensions measured out for the middle, which is 64. 64 is 4 blocks. So the length of that car will be 4. Wow, that's like the shortest one I've ever done. Shortest length train I've ever made, I think. So let's try and reload that. Wow, the bogie is like barely too long for this. Okay, so the main vehicle will edit the model parts and add the window exterior first. So the positions and the flipped positions will be the same. Exterior. Cool. And since Since the connection is slightly different, you see there's 6 and 4 provisioned for this. I am going to also change that accordingly right here. So the Z offset, let's try 0.375 because that's adding 2/16. And I think that is perfect. Nice. Nice. Yeah, the bogies are quite big for this train. The real train doesn't have these big bogies, but that's okay. Alright, let's keep going with this. So we have window 4 as well. Interior. There we go. And we have the light up top as well. I'm wondering these end pieces if I had it wrong the whole time. If they're supposed to be moved a little bit more. I don't know. Okay, let's just add the end piece. So the end piece, I don't know if 32 is the right spot. Oh. So that's a little too much. And also it needs to be on the other side. -25. Yeah, this is technically the right spot, but there's some Z fighting, and I don't know if the seats will all fit here as well. So we'll see. All right. Yeah, everything else here looks good so far. We need to fix a few things, definitely. What is this? Why is... Okay. Anyway, there are lots of texture things to fix in the model, which I'll probably do in a bit, now that we've finished this part. Let's add the lights real quick. So... we'll just do 7 or 8. 8. And then -8. Technically the lights are overlapping in the middle right now, but that's okay. Oh, and also these lights are slightly lower than the other part. Because the roof is a little lower than the main part of the train. All right. I think this looks good. This is good for start, and I'm gonna save my work before I do anything. So the only way to save your work in the resource pack creator is to export it. There's no save button. If you close Minecraft, all your progress will be lost, which is not good. So I'm going to click on export, and it will open up in your resource pack directory. So where's the one I just created? Okay, I'm gonna copy it to my move it to my desktop, and yeah, I'll fix some of these texture holes and then I'll be back. Okay, so I made some changes to the model, and I fixed some of the holes, fixed the textures. I've actually added this little part for door light off and door light on. It's kind of hard to see, but door light off is like this, and then door light on is the orange version. Okay, I'm gonna show you how all of that will work. So first of all, what I need to do is save this block bench model. I'm going to open up the resource pack that we just exported, and it's a zip file. So when I open it up, I'm gonna go into assets, MTR, and you see our block bench and our texture in here. So I'm going to go to my new texture that I just edited, copy it in here, and then go back to my models, which I have also just edited, and then copy it in here. Okay, so now that that's updated, I'm going to go ahead and launch Minecraft and open up my world and the resource pack creator. So right now my siding doesn't have a train on it, even though I have previously set it, and that's because we need to upload it inside the resource pack creator. So I'm going to click edit existing resource pack this time. We're not going to create a brand new one. We're going to click edit, and then I'm going to select the resource pack that we had previously, and boom, the train appears that we had before. So by uploading the zip file that we exported, everything should copy over properly. Alright, so let's check if we fixed some of the holes in the design, in the model. So let's take a look at the doorway first. Those holes are gone. It looks much better now. And there's still some Z fighting here, which I will probably fix in a second. This Z fighting's gone. I just moved this pole a little bit over. And then let's take a look at the head here. Yep, it looks much better up here as well. It's not perfect, but much better than before. And then the car connection, we still need to work on that. Alright, so it seems like our work is basically cut out for us. Let's go back to the design tab and edit some model parts. So I'm going to add the new end section that I created called end exterior, and let's try putting it flip position 0 and see where that ends up. Where did that go? Also, I'm gonna close the doors real quick because it's kind of annoying to always get snapped onto the train when I don't intend to. Okay, so this is the end piece, and let's take a look at, so 91 is the end. So similarly, I'll probably try 91. Where did that go? Is it inside here? Nope, I don't see it. Oh, it's like right there. Okay, so maybe 88? 83 is the magic number. And now we have some Z fighting with the end. So what I'm gonna do is to make this 90.9. Now the Z fighting's gone. Okay, let's see, and the black line comes right up to the edge, which is perfect. Okay, wow, that looks much better now that this side is covered. And then we have to add it to this second train as well. Add the end exterior piece with -25. Let's see. Which side did that add to? Oh, it's here. So probably +25. Okay. 23, 20, 18, 17, there. So 17, which means the -17 for the normal position. And similarly, the end will need to be 24.9 to avoid the Z fighting. Nice. Nice. Really happy about that. I think in reality the gangway goes much higher, but yeah, I'm not sure. We'll adjust that later. That's like easy stuff to fix. And we need to fix this piece. I might as well do it now real quick since I don't want to forget later. So I actually want to just push this back just a tiny bit. That's how I would want to fix it. So 12.1. Wait, what happened? Oh wait, that's the size. 8.1. Yeah. And so this texture will need to grow a little bit just to cover this tiny crack. The reason I'm using these small shifts is because if I shrunk down the texture or the model of this, since this blue piece is moved over by 0.1, there's still going to be Z fighting for a sliver, tiny line of that. So that's why it'll be easiest to just move the whole block back just a tiny bit. Just like this. Okay. Now to fix this, just gonna copy 1 pixel's worth of that. And we're really only going to see 0.1 of that cube anyway, so yeah, see? There we go. Okay, so it's not going to update in Minecraft right away because we're editing a totally separate file. We're going to have to copy it back into the zip file all over again. Oh, also I should probably just shorten this piece in general because you can see that texture bleeding out there. Okay, so 50 is okay. And this texture will be right up here. And since we resized it, I want to resize it here as well. So it'll be 200 now. This should line up once that saves. Okay, perfect. Now, back to this. What do we have left? The horizontal seating, which I have also made. Oh, and also the panels. I totally forgot about that. I need to add in the panels later. Okay, so let's add in the horizontal seats first. So I added a part called seat horizontal, and the positions can be probably pretty similar to window 3, which is 83. So let's try that first. Okay, so that puts that there. So it needs to be flipped, so I'm going to put that here, and it'll be interior. And 16? Oh no, probably, I don't know, -8? 12? That's pretty close. The lighting is glitching a little bit. $14, 15. 15 looks pretty good. What if we push that one more to 16? It kind of cuts into the wall, but from the outside that looks good as well. Let's take a look at some pictures. Okay. I know I have a picture of the bicycle rack section. Just gotta find it. Okay, this is a good enough picture. I think that the seat needs to come out a bit. You see how the end of the seat and like this gap right here? This is a bit too big, so... And I know that the seat back isn't curved nicely like this. So that also makes a little bit of a difference. But, yeah. 15 is good. And there's no handrail with that. Cool. Okay, and the seats fit really nicely, actually. I didn't expect that. Alright, back to the resource pack creator. Now we need to add the seats to the middle part as well. So this part is going to be a little bit trickier because there are going to be 7 seats here, and yeah, they're gonna have to be flipped on the other side as well. So let's start by doing 15 because that's what we had. Yeah, I think we had x equals 15 earlier. But actually, I think the seats should come further out because that's how the train is in the middle. Like, these seats come further out than this seat right here, as you can see. Okay. So -12 is good. And we have 7 seats, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna start by putting this at the end first. So about maybe 15, I don't know. 18, 16, 17. There we go. Okay. And how long is the seat itself? 14. So 14 So 3. Let's try 3. Okay, let's try like this. Okay, so that's 7 seats, but as you can see, there is some Z fighting. So I'm gonna do 3.5 because that's half of 7, and the seats are 14 blocks. Yeah, 14. So 3.5 should make the middle two not overlap. So let's temporarily hide the others for now and make sure that... Oh, these do have a little bit of fighting because the seat orientation is different. Okay. Okay, that's okay. So if we do 17.5 for the end seats, will that look weird? It does look a little bit weird. So one technique that I did for the other train that I made, the 345, is that I kind of staggered the seats a little bit. Meaning that I did like 12.01. Yeah, that's literally what I did. And then 0.01. Now, these don't fight anymore. They're just really offset just a tiny bit, and you can totally see that here. But when this gets indented by 0.1, you're not going to be able to tell. Okay, so those are going to be the positions. And $17.25, I'll make those 0.25. Now this is collapsed a little bit. Yeah, you can see these bands are a little bit narrower, but you really can't tell. And there's no Z fighting as well, which is good because I think these two columns of pixels are exactly the same texture. Okay, but then these need to go back just a tiny bit to avoid Z fighting with the blue part. Okay, this is a little bit hacky. If you don't like doing this, I totally get it, but there we go. The seats are ready. All right, looking good. Oh, I also forgot about the destination displays. We're gonna totally need to add that in. All right, so since we have to do the side panels and the display and handrails and all of that, I think we can call it good for this part. And I'm going to add that in. Oh wait, we have the door lights that are new that we can add right now too. So, edit model parts. I'm going to add door light, and I'm going to show you some techniques that I use for that. So door light off. This should be the same position as door exterior, which is -2 and 62. And this will be exterior, that's fine. Can we see the piece here? Yes. The piece is now right here. We could actually add this here too. Should we do it? Nah, too lazy. Technically that piece is a light as well. Okay. Now the door light off is here. Now we're gonna add the door light on as well. This will be a light piece. There we go. And now you'll notice that these two pieces are actually stacked together right now. And that's not gonna look good. So what we're going to do, and also the doors are closed and the light is on, which is not what we want. So what we're gonna do is the door light on, we're going to actually make this into a door. So for the door X movement, I'm gonna do like 1,000,000. You'll see why in a second. Door animation, I'm gonna do plug as well, why not? So let me think about this. Instead, I'm going to make this 1,000,000. So instead of 0, we're gonna do 1,000,000. Okay, let's test this real quick. So open doors. Oh, I might have gotten the directions wrong. Here, let me fix this again. Negative. See? The light comes on and turns off. Let's check the other side. Yep, turns on and turns off. Cool. I really don't see it. Oh, yeah, I see it. It has some Z fighting with the door off piece. So we need to do the same thing with the off piece, except that we can keep this at 0 and just make the door multiplier 1,000,000. I'll just make it negative to be consistent, and then plug fast as well. So when the doors are open, the door light off piece is like 1,000,000 blocks over that way. Or that way, I don't know. And then when the doors are closed, the piece comes back. See? That's the light off piece. And then the light... Oh, actually you can see it transition. Again, this is another hacky method to do this. So I should probably have an actual better way to do this. Okay, I'm gonna leave this like this for now. I'll probably make a new animation type called like instant or something, so we can use that instead. Yeah. Okay, but for now, like the reason I'm doing this instead of using the normal normally there's a condition for doors open and doors closed. The reason I'm not using this is because the light is supposed to be tied to individual doors. So if this door is open and this door is not, only this light should turn on and this light shouldn't. But if I use the door open and door close conditions, then even if just one door opens, all the lights will turn on, which is not what we want for this train specifically. For the other trains, like the Hong Kong trains, the light turns on when any of the doors are open, so it doesn't matter. But for this one, it matters. So I think all the other pieces that we were trying to fix have been fixed. Oh yeah, the front piece wasn't rendering properly before, but now it's good. Okay. So now I'm going to revise the model a little bit more. let's see, to add the panels, the handrails, the destination displays, and probably the front display as well as all the floor pieces and the doorways. And then we should be done. So much left to do still. Okay, so I'm gonna work on the handrails and everything offline because it's pretty simple to do. But the floors and doorways and the displays, I am going to record myself doing that so you can all see how that's done. But before I go ahead and do that, make sure we remember to export. Okay, and our new resource pack is now here. So something unfortunate happened. Earlier I was doing something with a USB flash drive, and so I unplugged my microphone to plug in my USB drive, and I forgot to plug my microphone back in before I started recording. So I recorded all this footage for like an hour or so, and there was no audio. So now I'm going to do a voiceover and kind of quickly talk through what I did, and I guess make this video much shorter than it originally was. So I added in the displays, the front, the interior, and the side displays, and also some side panels and handrails. For example, the panels in the window 1 section and the panels on the sides of the doors. And now I am going to make the floors. So for the floors, we just need a block bench cube with a height of 0. Because we're just defining where the player can walk, the cubes are not actually going to be rendered. They're just to tell Minecraft where the player can walk on. The minimum area for any piece of floor is about 10 block bench units wide. For example, you can't make a super narrow passageway of less than 10 blocks. Although you could make some steps that are less than 10 blocks as long as the player has some space in the surrounding floor pieces to stand on. So here I'm going to make the floors for window 1, the door, window 2, window 3, and window 4. Window 4 is going to be pretty simple because it's just a basic hallway for the train, for the middle section of the train. Next, we also have to add in destination and side displays as well. So for displays, it's similar to floors in that we just need to define a cube where the display text will be on. We're not actually going to render this part, so the texture UV can be 0, 0. But we do need to make sure that the blue arrow is facing inwards of where we want the display to be. For example, if the text is going to be shown on this outer face, the blue arrow should be pointing away from where we're looking at. So I'm going to go ahead and add the front destination displays, the side interior displays, and even the departure index display. And later on, I'm going to add it through the resource pack creator. Because we modified the block bench model and the texture, we have to remember to copy these new files to the existing resource pack that we just exported earlier so that we can have the newest model and texture when we are editing it in the Minecraft resource pack creator again. So here I'm going to drag in the files into the zip file and then import it into Minecraft. We can open up the resource pack creator again and then work on adding the different pieces to it. So first I'm going to add in the side panels, which we just added to the block bench model. And then we're going to add the floors. In the resource pack creator, we make sure the type is set to floor and not rendered normally as like a part. So if we do that, then the part will show up as a floor, and we can set the positions and the positions flipped just like normal. After we do that, if we hold the brush, we can see an outline of the new floors that we have. We also need to add in the doorway pieces as well. Doorways are basically like floors, but the purpose of the doorways is for the doors on your actual vehicle model to know when to open the doors. Doorways detect platform blocks, and the closest available door models will open, and players will be able to board the train using the doorways. Also, we are going to add in the displays now. Make sure we set it to the type display, and then we can adjust the different X and Y offsets to position the text where we want it to. There's a little bug right now where the text is not perfectly centered, but we're going to go ahead and ignore that for now. The interior displays, I want to make it white and scrolling text just like the ones in the class 345. In reality, there's supposed to be a dynamic route map that shows up, but that hasn't been implemented in the mod yet, so the best we can do is just a scrolling display on the inside. For testing purposes, I'm going to add some placeholder text just so that we know where the text will be displayed and how it's going to show up. I'm also going to manually add in some Chinese words as well, because sometimes Chinese characters are displayed a little bit offset from the English words, so I want to make sure that they both look good as well. After all the displays are set up, including the side displays and the departure index, I'm going to make sure that the back car is added as well. So to make the back car, I'm going to duplicate the front car in the resource pack creator and then flip everything inside it. So first I have to adjust the bogies and then flip each part around. That's usually done by copying the values from the positions flipped section to the position section, or vice versa, and then reversing the Z values. So for example, a negative number will become a positive number, and so on. So after that's done, we can see that we have the back car successfully rendered. One more thing we need to fix are the headlight and taillight behaviors, because we want the headlight to be showing when the train is moving backwards and the taillights to show when the train is moving forwards. Okay, so now I'm going to run some tests for the train. There's a little quirk for the resource pack creator where the doors won't open if the train is running normally on the track, so you must load it as a resource pack. So I'm going to export the vehicle as a resource pack and then load it in like that. And now we can see that the train opens the doors properly. There are some small things that I need to fix, such as the text layout of the middle exterior displays and the text sizing of the departure index, but those are small things which I will fix real quick. So I hope this video was helpful to you all and that you enjoyed the process of me making this train, the modeling, the texturing, and finally adding it in through the resource pack creator. It's really unfortunate that I lost the past hour of audio footage, but hopefully you get a good sense of how to use the resource pack creator to create your own train. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you learned something from it, and I hope you enjoyed this train when it comes out in the next update. I would really appreciate it if you supported me on Patreon as well, so that I can keep making wonderful content in the mod for you all. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!